Good morning student, myself Melissa Akla, and in today's session we start with our subject, that is structure analysis part 1. Okay, and in this subject we start with our first chapter, that is fundamental. Before starting this chapter we discuss why we need to study this subject, why we need to study structure analysis 1. Okay, in SEM 3 we already study the subject mechanics of solid. In mechanics of solid we learn different type of chapters. In first we learn part of mechanics, okay, and second we learn different type of beam, loading, then bending moment, shear forces and stresses. Okay, this is the primary chapters that include in mechanics of solid. Now in SEM 4, in structural analysis part 1, we learn different type of load act on structure, and because of this loading, if our structure subjected to any type of deformation, we find out values of this slope and deflection by different method. Okay, here we done analysis of beam, frame by different type of methods, and also we find out effect of stresses on this structure. Simply this is our analysis portion. Okay, now we start with fundamental, our first chapter. Before starting, I want to explain you what is structure. Structure is a assemble of number of component like beam, slab, column, foundation and our wall. Okay, now what is the need of to construct a structure? Because structures satisfy fundamental criteria of strength, then stiffness, then compatibility, durability. Okay, and according to this we differentiate our structure in two parts. First is our determinate structure and second is our indeterminate structure. Okay, again I'm repeating you, structure is a assemble of different part, just like different component like our slab, beam, column, then our foundation and our wall. And basic need of this structure is to justify strength, stiffness, economy, durability and compatibility. Okay, and according to this our structure is differentiate in two part. First part is our determinate structure and second part is our indeterminate structure. Okay, here I take a two figure. In first figure we can see this is the figure of arch, okay, parabolic arch. Okay, this is a one type of structure, and this vertical is the column and this horizontal member is our beam. In second figure, again here I take a look at this. This is a number of column is given and this beam is resting on this column. This is a roof of this house. Okay, ultimate this beam, column, slab, flooring, foundation, assemble of this component make a structure. Okay, and this structure justify, satisfy stiffness, then strength, economy, durability of given different type of component. Okay, now next, first, what is determinate structure? Okay, what is the definition of determinate structure? The structure for which reaction at support, listen carefully, the structure for which reaction at support and internal forces can be find out by number of static equilibrium condition, then it is known as a determinate structure. And static equilibrium condition are three. First condition is sigma h is equal to 0, that means algebraic sum of horizontal forces. Sigma v is equal to 0, that means algebraic sum of vertical forces, and sigma m is equal to 0, that means algebraic sum of moment. Now our second definition is a indeterminate structure. Okay, what is indeterminate structure? Okay, indeterminate structure, that means structure for which support reaction and internal forces cannot be find out. Okay, learn this is important word, that is structure for which support reaction and internal forces cannot be, cannot be find out by condition of static equilibrium. then it is known as our indeterminate structure. Now what is the basic difference between determinate and indeterminate? In determinate structure, support reaction and internal forces can be found out by static equilibrium condition, and indeterminate structure, our support reaction and internal forces cannot be found out with static equilibrium condition. Okay, and from these two equation here we write that in determinate structure, number of unknown internal forces or unknown reaction is equal to number of equilibrium equation. Okay, equal to. And for indeterminate structure, here we write down number of unknown forces, internal forces and support reaction are greater than number of equilibrium equation. Okay, this is the definition of determinate structure and indeterminate structure. Next, here I take again two figure. This first figure is our indeterminate structure, because look at this. To give a support for this roof, number of steel columns are provided. Okay, 1 2 3 4 number of steel columns are provided. That means here in this structure we have to get number of unknown forces, and so that this structure is indeterminate structure. That I will you explain later on by find out SI and KI. Then determinate structure, this truss. Okay, this is the geometry of truss, and this diagonal truss is supported on this two pier. Only 1 and 2 support are given. Okay, ultimately this structure is our determinate structure, and this we prove by find out SI. Okay, simply just it is for your knowledge. This is our indeterminate structure and this figure is for our determinate structure. Okay, now what is degree of indeterminacy? It is very important definition. Degree of static indeterminacy, also we known as static indeterminacy, and notation of this static indeterminacy is DSI or SI. Okay, in some reference book we write down also SI. Now what is static indeterminacy? If our number of unknown forces are greater than our static equilibrium condition, then that is known as static indeterminacy or degree of static indeterminacy. Okay, simply here degree of static indeterminacy means number of unknown forces minus equilibrium equation, that is equal to extra unknown forces, and this extra unknown forces is known as redundant forces also. DS is the sign of static indeterminacy, or we can say degree of static indeterminacy. DS is the summation of DAC plus DSI. What is DAC? Full form of DAC is equal to external indeterminacy and DSI is equal to internal indeterminacy. Okay. For beam, simply for example, for beam DSI is equal to internal indeterminacy is always 0. Okay, only and only we find out DAC. What is the equation of DAC? DAC is equal to capital R minus small r, where capital R is equal to number of support reaction and small r is equal to our static equilibrium condition, that is 3. Okay, first is our sigma h is equal to 0, second is our sigma v is equal to 0, and third is equal to our sigma m is equal to 0. Okay, this is the definition of degree of static indeterminacy. Again I am repeating you, if number of unknown forces are more than our static equilibrium condition, then that is known as degree of static indeterminacy. Okay, and ds is the notation of this degree of static indeterminacy, and that is equal to DAC plus DSI. DAC means external and DSI means internal. Clear? Okay, now next, difference between statically determinate structure and statically indeterminate structure. Okay, now one by one we differentiate these two terms. First is statically determinate structure. Okay, this we already studied in definition. Number of internal forces and support reaction can be find out by static equilibrium condition first. Now second, bending moment at cross section of beam is independent of material and cross section of structure. It is very important. Bending moment at cross section of beam is independent of material properties and cross section of structure. Next, no stresses are induced due to lack of fitting. Then no stresses are induced due to temperature changes. Then this type of structure is not economical. Okay, your cost is high compared to our statically indeterminate structure. Okay, then these structures are flexible. That is again drawback of this type of structure. And example, simply supported beam, cantilever beam is the example of statically determinate structure. Now just in opposite statically indeterminate structure, if you remember in definition we learned that number of internal forces and support reaction cannot be found out by static equilibrium condition, then this type of structure is known as statically indeterminate structure. Clear? Now second, just opposite of the statically determinate structure, bending moment at cross section of beam is depend upon material properties and cross section area of given structure. Second, stresses are induced due to lack of fitting. Stresses are induced due to temperature changes, and this structure is rigid structure. It is very important. If structure are rigid, then it is good for load carrying capacity. Okay, then this structure are economical also. And last one example of this structure is fixed beam. Okay, fixed beam is a statically indeterminate structure. Now next, give advantage and disadvantage of statically indeterminate structure. Again that is a theory portion. Okay, now advantage of indeterminate structure. First advantage of indeterminate structure is a rigid structure that we already studied in differentiate between determinate and indeterminate structure. If our given structure is indeterminate, then this is a rigid structure, and this rigid structure is carrying a more load carrying capacity. Okay, and it useful for time of vibration also. If our structure is rigid, then it will be less affected by vibration than moving load. Then larger span. Okay, if we want to construct structural length more, then determinate structure is not allowing for construction of larger span, but indeterminate structure are allowing for construction of larger span. Okay, now it give a better aesthetic view. This is third point. And saving material. It is very important that this point I will explain you next theory. Now four advantage. First advantage is rigid structure. Okay, because of rigidity it will be sustained for moving load vibrations. Then larger span. Okay, it will be permit for larger span. Then better aesthetic view. It give a better aesthetic view and saving material. Okay, this topic I explain you in depth next. And disadvantages. It is not possible that every structure has advantage only. There are some disadvantages also. Now first disadvantage is analysis is difficult, because in definition we already learned that in determinate structure our force is equal to 0. Okay, but in indeterminate structure we have to get some extra unknown forces. So first in analysis portion we find out this value of these unknown forces. So analysis of indeterminate structure is difficult compared to determinate structure. Okay, then secondary stresses is induced because secondary stresses is induced due to lack of fitting, poor workmanship, settlement of support and temperature changes. If these things are happen in structure, secondary stresses are induced again due to poor workmanship, lack of fitting, temperature changes, settlement of support. If these things will occur in structure, our structure is induced or secondary stresses. Okay, now last one, stress reversal. Again this statically determinate structure are rigid structure, and if our structure is rigid it will be attract more forces, and because of this more attraction of forces reversal stresses are induced more in compared to determinate structure. This is 3 disadvantages of indeterminate structure. Okay, now next, how indeterminate structure are economical than our determinate structure. Okay, now this we prove, because our fourth advantage is saving in material, and we prove by this explanation. Okay, so here I take first figure of simply supported beam, and this simply supported beam subjected to UDL load. Okay, this simply supported beam subjected to UDL load, and load here distance is given 6 meter and load is given 10 kilonewton per meter. Okay, now in MOS you already study figure of this bending moment of UDL subjected to simply supported beam is outward parabola. Now here we find out, suppose this is our center point. Now write down bending moment here, A point. Okay, just I am giving notation AB, and this center point is given as C. Now we find out bending moment at C point, right here MC. What is the equation of simply supported beam subjected to UDL on entire span? Maximum bending moment we get at C point, and that is W L square by 8. Now put the value, W is equal to 10, L is equal to 6 square by 8, and my answer of this moment at C is equal to 270 kilonewton into meter. Clear? Now in second figure, this is our statically determinate structure. I write here, okay, statically determinate structure. First figure is our statically determinate structure. Okay, and how this beam is statically determinate, I will explain you at time of to find a SI. Okay, simply just you accept this beam is statically determinate and this beam is statically indeterminate. Okay, finally we find this value. Okay, next we find these values. This second beam is our fixed beam, and fixed beam again subjected to UDL load. Type of beam is changed here. This statically determinate, and now this is our indeterminate structure. Okay, now what is the effect in determinate structure? What is the effect of this determinate and indeterminate structure for material? Again, loading is given 10 kilonewton per meter and span is given 6 meter. This is indeterminate structure. Okay, we find out moment at MA and MB. End moment we find out MA and MB is equal to WL square by 12. Simply put the value. W is given 10. L is equal to 6 square. Okay, by 12. My moment is equal to 180 kilonewton into meter. Now here we find out net moment. Okay, net bending moment between these two type of beam is equal to 270 minus 180 is equal to 90 kilonewton into meter. That means this point is equal to 90 kilonewton into meter minus A point, B point. Ultimate here we get bending moment. Here net bending moment is equal to 90 kilonewton into meter as center point. Okay, first value is equal to 270 and second value we get 90. That means if our moment is reduced, ultimate our cross section area is reduced, because to resist this moment we apply area. If our area is reduced, our material is reduced, and if our material is reduced, then we finally our structure is economical. Clear concept? In determinate structure, moment is increased, so that area is increased and bending moment is increased. Okay, so that it is not economical. But in determinate structure, our value of moment is reduced. Moment is reduced, so that section is reduced. Section is reduced, so area is reduced, material is reduced, and overall concept is that indeterminate structure are economical than determinate structure. Clear? Okay, now next, define stable structure and unstable structure. It is again very important point, because what is stability of structure? Okay, a structure is said to be stable, it deforms elastically. If structure is said to be stable when it is deformed elastically and immediately elastic restraints are developed to resist this load, and this is known as stable structure. Okay, here the important word is that is the structure is deformed elastically and immediately elastic restraints are developed to resist this external applied load. Okay, if your structure is deformed elastically, within elastic limit is deformation occur, then that is stable structure. Okay, next definition is define unstable structure. If system does not have sufficient number of member, then due to application of load, our structure deform permanently. Again I am repeating you. If system does not have sufficient number of internal or external member, or we can say that constraint, it will be undergo a rigid body movement. Okay, important word is rigid body movement. Okay, it will be go rigid body movement due to the application of load. This is known as unstable structure. In stable structure, deform elastically is important, and in unstable structure it will be undergo a rigid body movement. Rigid body movement means that is permanently deformed. Okay, unstable structure is deformed permanently and in stable structure is deformed, but again removal of load, it will regain its position. Okay, now here I take again two figure. Stability has again two part. Stability, that means external stable structure or external unstable structure. Okay, in this figure, this house is stand on this column. Okay, if this column is act as a external stable structure. Okay, if enough number of support reaction are not provided, in that condition our structure is failed due to a self-weight, and this is known as externally unstable structure. Okay, and if enough number of support reaction are provided to resist this load and the structure will sustain, then that is external stable structure. In this second figure, internal stable or internal second is internal unstable. Again it is depend upon number of member. If in given structure, if number of member are not provided, enough number of member are not provided, then due to self-weight of structure or due to external load, internal geometry of structure is changed, or maybe possible structure is damaged, then this is known as internal unstable. If geometry does not change, that means internal geometry does not change due to the application of load, then it is known as internal stable structure. Okay, again I am repeating you. In external stable and external unstable, in external stable, if enough number of support reaction are provided, then that is stable, external stable. But enough number of support reaction are not provided, then structure is deformed, and that is known as external unstable structure. Same condition apply in internal for also, internal stable and internal unstable. Internal stabilities depend upon geometry. If geometry does not change, then that is internal stable structure, and if geometry is changed, then that is internal unstable. And internal stability is depend upon proper number of member and also arrangement of member. Okay, now in this today's session we cover lots of topic. Okay, just revise the topic. Okay, in next session we'll start with our second topics, that is truss. Okay, just now we stop here.